God is our refuge. God is our strength. He is a very present help in times of trouble. With these words, I greet you all in the powerful name of God Almighty. I am the great defender. It is once more the important conversation that we continue. And the topic of this conversation, as usual, is Jamaica and the leadership incompetence that has continued in Jamaica. We have come to the end of another year, Jamaica. A year when we saw the murder of hundreds of our citizens. A year full of economic decline, lack of growth. We saw a year which is probably the bloodiest year in the history of Jamaica. And it was brought to the fore that even policemen were involved in the murder of some of our citizens, the kidnapping and murder of some of our citizens. We had incidents where policemen were caught in robberies. We had incidents where policemen were arrested for being members of some of the most violent gangs in Jamaica. And so Jamaica, the authorities, so to speak, have joined in the melee. They have joined in the crime and destruction of the country. The leadership is so weak and incompetent that there's no method of accountability. There's no method to monitor the public servants and to make sure they are serving the Jamaican public. And so in times when they are caught, they seem to brush these charges aside and they seem to find ways to cover them up and dismiss them. And so therefore the year has ended, and to God I wish it was the leadership of the country that had ended. But the people have got to now look into themselves and see where this country is going. We have got to now begin to search for leadership amongst the people. People with the will and the know-how must form new political alliances and begin to campaign for the votes of the disenfranchised Jamaicans. The natural resources of our land are being eaten by birds. We have the indigenous apple, and we don't have an indigenous apple farm that would supply these apples to the world. We have the most arable land for ginger, and these things are not being organized and processed and sold on the overseas market to generate foreign exchange. We have bisi, we're otherwise called cola nut. We need bisi farms across the country. We have, you name it, mangoes. We don't have an East Indies mango farm, which is one of the tastiest mangoes in the world. And so we see the lack of vision on the part of the leaders over the years. And these things can generate employments of thousands of Jamaicans, and not just employment, but very gainful employment. The vision that I hold for Jamaica is to make Jamaica the health basket of the Western Hemisphere. We can be known for producing the healthiest food, and that if we can't even export enough, people will be willing to fly into Jamaica just to eat healthy food. And that is one thing, that a brand that we must promote in leadership. But I've spoken to muggles and people across the world who are interested in coming into Jamaica and to invest in some of these projects. People from as far as Africa who are billionaires and who are willing to invest in Jamaica. But there's one common concern they hold is that of the crime in our country, and that the country cannot progress as long as crime is so rampant. And so, therefore, the government of the day has refused to fix the criminal problem in the country. They have refused to pass laws to suppress crime. We heard them say that it's 15 years if you're caught with a gun or ammunition, but the trick is in the bail. These men get caught and they get bail. And so until they fix the trick that is called bail, then that matter will never be laid to rest. When these men are being told that you will get no bail for carrying an illegal firearm or bullets, then you will see a dent in crime. And so why they are taking so long to fix that bail part of the matter is another concern. But we have a lot to talk about, Jamaica. We have a lot to talk about. Our country is spiraling in the abyss of hell. You have gone through 2022 and you have been disappointed with the leadership. And if you continue on to another electoral term with this present leadership, you will be even more disappointed. As far as the main opposition of Jamaica is concerned, I have not heard them laid out a vision for the country. And I know that from scriptures, without a vision, the people perish. And so we need leaders who have vision to carry our country forward. We need leaders who will see that the people on the corner can be educated, that are willing to utilize the present classrooms as evening classes for some of our adults who have not had the privilege of a tertiary education. We believe in using some of these schools to a skills training by night, in fact, as universities by night and high schools by day. We have to use what we have until we get what we want. But Jamaica must become more of a self-sufficient country. We have got to search for the talents, harness the talents, and market these talents globally. We can feed ourselves as a country if we put our people to work. Right now, the solution to Jamaica is in Jamaica. The people of Jamaica have got to be recultured. Their minds have to be reshaped. The minds that promote and hide and aid and abet criminals must be changed, must be brought to a status where you know that crime doesn't help the country. Crime doesn't even help the criminals. The country is one that can be developed. The national debt of Jamaica can be paid off in less than a year if any government is serious. 14 billion United States dollars, it can be paid off. The people in the diaspora are willing to come back and invest in Jamaica, but the crime is preventing them from doing so. You have foreigners who love Jamaica and wants to invest in Jamaica. The crime is preventing them from doing so. Those that are presently investing in Jamaica are going through hell because of the criminals. And so the approach to fighting crime must be that of fighting a war. You cannot be sugarcoating these men who are hell-bent on destroying the entire country for their own selfish needs. And so my proposal is to declare war on crime. And therefore the army, the great men of the JDF, must be spurred into action. And they must be utilized and set up in battalions like you're going to war. Intelligence must be gathered. There must be aerial surveillances, helicopters, drones, and massive deployment of our military juggernauts in these areas where the criminals are taking refuge. The people that are aiding and abetting the criminals must be arrested and sentenced also. The prison system must be revamped so that the prisoners don't feel safe and at home. They must be very uncomfortable behind bars. As it is now, the prisoners are very comfortable. The country has got to come into realization that protecting those that are destroying you will only result in your demise after a while. The people that hide the criminals usually get killed by the criminals as well. And so we have to now in 2023 begin to reculture our people. The government has got to sit down with the great minds of the country and have got to realize the ideas that some people have and have to find ways of enforcing these ideas, because it is ideas that move a society forward. It is ideas that makes the world a civilized place. And so the willpower must be there to execute these ideas and make them become reality. But I call on Jamaica to support our movement. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word. Share the videos and let them know that there are voices of dissent out there that wants better for Jamaica. People are willing to fly into Jamaica and make Jamaica a much better place for all to live. But the leaders are standing in the way. We see the fracasing whenever funds are raised to even help the children. The government wants to get involved. They want to take it away. The thievery in high places, we cannot go through another decade of this kind of nonsense. And so the main opposition, I ask you to put your plans on the table. Right now, we are putting our plans on the table and we are making our proposals to the government and the people. And if so, you like, we can talk. We can have dialogue on how to move our country forward, because it is our country. All of us have a part to play in making Jamaica a better place. And in 2023, I call upon Jamaicans to activate your patriotism, love of country over self. Do not be selfish and destroy your country because of your own selfish needs. Rise up as a people. You have the ability to be great. Do not suppress your talents and do not surrender to crime. It is bad that there is crime. It is worse that the people do nothing about it. And so if the government refuses to harm the population, I believe the people must militarize themselves in terms of being vigilant, in terms of having their machetes ready. And they have to now begin to have citizens arrest on some of these men, and if the army is not activated. But my plan would be to activate the army, bring out the different battalions, and just make one big move. Get rid of them once and for all. The prison system, the men who run the prison system must be fired and men with more integrity hired. There's clearly something fundamentally wrong across the board in Jamaica. And until we begin to make the big moves from the top to the bottom, we will not clean up our country. We are living in a country that is a mess, and the country must be cleaned. With these words, I say to you, God bless you, and let's make Jamaica a better place for all. Let's come together, put our ideas, hands and shoulders to the wheel, and push Jamaica forward, and make Jamaica a beacon that shines so the world can see and admire. God bless you all. Thank you.